working on here today?
Starting
What are you adjusting on?
I was just adjusting the float level.
And what's the goal? We want the fuel to be in the center of the...
Well, a little bit below that.
A little bit below, and same for the front and the rear?
Yes. That's where I set them up.
And this had 88 jets in the carburetor?
Uh-huh.
And we went down to...
86s.
85s in the front,
Five,
though.
yeah.
Because that's what you had.
86 in the back of the enhanced square.
And that's... you're thinking that it was actually probably right for racing the way it was jetted, but maybe it's not driving so great on the street because of that.
Right.
Well, there's only one way to find out. So we need to start it up now?
Yes.
Turning the idle up. Fire. A little high right now. It's a little high right now. Still got a little hesitation and a little stumble. Bring it back to Super Dave and see what he thinks. I thought I wanted him to ride it because I wanted him to feel that. I wanted him to feel that hesitation.
I don't know if you see that on. So I pulled down here to the stop sign, and hold on, we're trying to wait people on, and nobody knows how to communicate anymore. I looked down, and the oil pressure looked like it was either at 0 or near 0, so I shut it off, and then when I went to restart it, now the battery's dead. So we're going to have to tow it. Luckily, we're just right down the road from my dad's house, so we're going to have to tow it back to the house, see what the heck happened. A tow of shame. Alright, so we got oil pressure. We're back to 60 psi. It's everywhere. So I don't know. We'll have to do some more investigating. So we've made a determination on what happened with the oil pressure. So this engine actually does not have a dipstick because it is super race car like that. I don't know why race car, big block guys get rid of their dipsticks, but it's a thing. So there's no way of us knowing how much oil was actually in this thing. Well, because it has this really nice external oil pump setup on it, doesn't actually have a pickup tube. It's got a suction line that goes to the back of the pan here. Well,
we found that there was actually only about 5 quarts of oil in the system, and it's an 8-quart oil pan. So when we went down the hill here by the house, we think what happened is when I hit the brakes, all the oil sloshed to the front, and it lost suction on the pickup tube, and that's why we lost oil pressure. So we've since then fired it up. We just did a oil change, got the Extreme Racing 20W50 like we always run. We put a Wix filter on it like we always run, and now we've got good oil pressure. So we're pretty sure that that was just a little fluke deal, and that's something we're just gonna have to keep our eye on and make sure that we don't have that problem moving forward. We are here supporting our local track, Thornhill Drag Strip. We're just gonna make a couple passes tonight and see what this thing runs. So let's get it off the trailer and get after it. All right, so left the starting line and immediately put it in second gear on accident because, you know, newbie driver out here, right? And man, it just wasn't pulling good. And it was smoking a little bit from the oil that was on the header still, but I just like, man, this thing ain't pulling right. So I aborted the run. And when I turned off the end of the track, it felt like it was like the rear end was locked up. And then I started smelling the brakes. So by the time I got back here, that driver's side rear caliper it's probably locked up or something. So I don't know, that was the first time we ever used a line lock on the car in the burnout. So I don't know if when I pumped it up and set the line lock, if there's an issue and it caused it. Line lock should be to the front brakes, so it shouldn't have anything to do with the rear, but I don't know, that rear caliper was not happy. So first pass was very uneventful, unsuccessful. All right, we've got the wheel off the old Belvedere here with our problematic side. First impressions, I think we might be able to save the rotor, actually. It doesn't feel too bad. I guess we won't know for 100% until we start driving it, but I think it's going to be okay. From the outside, it looks like my El Dorado caliper might be correct. If we spin around underneath of here, the El Dorado caliper's got a like a spring deal on it that I'm not seeing on this one, so maybe we don't have the right one. The good thing is, did a little cleaning, found a logo on here. There we go. Right Stuff. Now, I know Right Stuff makes all kinds of brake lines and such for Mopars, so this is a great sign. Worst case scenario, we can contact Right Stuff and figure out what caliper is on this. It also happens to be that Mopar Nationals is this coming weekend, so there's a good chance that if we can't get a caliper locally, Right Stuff almost always sets up there. We'll be able to go up to the Nationals and hopefully pick up what we need. All right, I'm going to quit talking and get this thing apart. All right, so got the caliper off. Turns out this is, in fact, for a 79 through 84 Cadillac Eldorado, so that's cool. Bad part is the parts store gave me the wrong side, so we're dead in the water for the time being. But I'm going to run up to another parts store and see if I can get that hose. That is not original to a 79 Eldorado, it doesn't sound like. But we're going to go ahead and replace the hose because hose could be causing our issue too. Right now, the caliper is moving freely, so there is a good indication that it could be the hose. So we're going to go ahead and replace the caliper and the hose to be safe. And then the rotor feels okay, but I'll probably get one if they have one and I can match it up. So off to the parts store I go. So after several trips back and forth to the parts house, continuously getting the wrong caliper, I kept getting the passenger side for some reason instead of the driver's side. Upon starting to take this off, I found our actual problem. This stainless braided line to the driver caliper there was somehow the bracket had gotten bent. I think somebody had hauled this car before, thrown an axle strap around it, caught the brake caliper with the axle strap, and pinched it over, basically bent the, kind of shoved into the rear end housing here. And so this is after I actually pinched it back with a pair of vice grips to allow it to move fluid back through it. So I think what happened is when I jacked the brakes up to hold the car on the starting line, this pinched line put all the fluid pressure inside to the caliper, and then it wouldn't release when I let off the brake because this was so bent over, and that's where our problem was. So we went to the local speed shop, got a new line, and getting ready to swap it out, and then hopefully that will fix our issue. So we had quite the debacle with the brakes there. After fixing the line that was crimped over, we also ran into another problem. Not sure if it was related or unrelated at the time, but sometime between us putting the line on and starting to bleed the brakes, we found out that the proportioning valve, the adjustable proportioning valve, had actually gone bad and wasn't allowing any fluid to go to the rear brakes. So we had two good rear brakes where they were locked up, and then we went to having no rear brakes. So we swapped the adjustable proportioning valve out for a new one, and then finally we were able to bleed the brakes, got a good pedal, and everything is good to go now. So that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It's totally free. It'll help you stay notified on the next videos that come out. And the next video coming out this coming Wednesday, we take the car, I'm thinking about my truck here behind me, we take the car, the Belvedere, to the racetrack, and we actually get some successful passes in with it and get an idea of what this thing actually runs. So you guys are definitely going to want to stick around for that video. It's a cool one. So thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button, click the like button, and we will catch you guys next time.